Welcome once again to the Business Therapy Show. Stay tuned. You're going to hear from our next guest who is amazing at getting government contracts. You don't want to miss this one.
With over 17 years of experience as an entrepreneur, Brandon Powell knows what it feels like to struggle while navigating the market. Likewise, whether you have just started your company or been dominating your industry for over 15 years, we all have needed clarity and inspiration. Regardless of your industry, profession, or service, the Business Therapy Show was created to showcase your journey. You have a story to tell. We are excited to discover how you have navigated the market, overcome roadblocks, and gained business clarity during moments of darkness. Welcome to the Business Therapy Show.
Welcome once again to the Business Therapy Show. I'm your host, Brandon Powell. So grateful to have you guys tuning in with us once again. I have a very special guest today. I'm going to introduce you guys to her. Her name is Dr. Cassandra Bradford. Good to see you once again.
Good to see you too. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it felt like I've just seen you and talked to you. It's because I have. Dr. Cassandra Bradford is a great friend of mine and have been a mentor in a lot of ways over the years. She taught me how to make my first pizza. Not really. Yeah, she didn't really do that. That's to make sure you guys are paying attention at home. But we're grateful to have her. The purpose of the Business Therapy Show is to talk about our journey as professionals as we go through the phase of metaphorical darkness, of lack of clarity, and how we have to just push through, and then looking back on it after we've accomplished that and how we did it, and sharing some of the nuggets and insights, and being able to share our humanity in the process. I personally have gone through it myself and still learning and still getting more clarity. And so today, you're going to get a chance to get to know Dr. Bradford and just learn more from her. Please take notes. And when she shares her information at the end, you do want to make sure to stay in touch. So you ready for the first question?
I'm ready. I'm surprised you got to look at your little handy dandy cell phone.
You know, my eyes are bad. That's going to be my excuse. So tell us and the thousands of people in the audience that you can't see on camera, tell us, who is Dr. Cassandra Bradford and what has been the most exciting part of your journey?
Well, I am a woman from East St. Louis, Illinois. I'm from murder capital of the world. I was able to escape, left East St. Louis, went to California, and matriculated through my career, and was pushed out like a lot of people are. I wasn't fired. I was pushed, and I left corporate America with that last company as my client. And started my own firm. I had a litigation management company. This was back in 2000. And we never marketed the company. Talked to 3 attorneys, and those attorneys told everybody. And we ended up getting a call from a company in Dallas. And that company spoke to me about, or asked if we were a certified minority or woman-owned business, because they had a very lucrative contract. And so that's how I made my journey to Texas, and that's who I am. We help companies become certified minority, woman-owned, veteran-owned, and help them to secure and procure contracts from the government.
Well, I think as you were listening to our audience and those watching now, she's been doing this a long time. And I think sometimes opportunity comes when you first get challenged to do the thing. The very thing that you have become spectacular at, you got challenged to do it. You also challenged me to do that, but it didn't inspire me to do anything. I got more lazy. So, but for you, it inspired you, and kudos to you for that. Okay, well,
Well, that's why I have a company, because others just like you who don't want to do that task.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to create websites. I don't want to do my own logo.
Right.
I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that?
Right.
When there's experts out there that can do it. And one of the reasons why we started a business is because there was a problem. Right. And we came up with the answer, right? So as business owners, as entrepreneurs, we look for problems.
Right.
So we can find the answer to, and then we we monetized that, and now we have a business. So I started doing things that nobody else wanted to do. Number one, I wanted to educate women and minorities about opportunities, right? Because in college, my thesis in college was on the glass ceiling because I was living it. So I felt like, why go look up a subject to write about when I was living it? I was a regional VP for a major insurance company, but I was getting half the pay as my male counterparts. Right, so I was living that. And so when I got asked if we were a certified minority or woman-owned business, I didn't know anything about it. I did what anybody in this room or any audience member, I call my mom. Isn't that what you do? Hey, Mom, what is this, right? And then I wanted to help my people. I wanted to help minorities and women gain access to multi-million-dollar contracts. And it's all paperwork, right? It's a lot of paperwork. And so I fell in love with it. Yeah. I found out there were people like you that didn't want to deal with paperwork.
Right, still
right? Don't. And I love it.
Yeah, and so for our audience here, they'll know this, but for you guys tuning in, the statement I'm saying, I don't like paperwork. In fact, I'm allergic to paperwork. So our production team will enjoy that statement. But thank you so much. Don't miss the fact that we're talking to today a specialist. And the principle that I want to convey is, as a side note, collect good people. Collect good people. Make sure you stay in touch with them. It doesn't matter if they're going to become your client or not, or vice versa. Having good people around you, especially if they're a minority or not, is really healthy for the psyche. I love being able to talk to Cassandra and just the high level thinking, the things that she's working on. It's refreshing because it challenges and inspires me to do what I need to do to get better. And so now I got to ask a question. We in the 3 feet pool. We're going to get away from the kids. It's time to get deep, go into the 6 feet. How has failure helped shape your skills along your journey?
Well, it teaches you never to do that again because it could cost you a lot of money. But think about this. When you're in business and you're a business owner, one of the things you have to do is sell, right? And most entrepreneurs, we don't want to sell. We just want to do the work, right? Because we're used to someone bringing us to work when we're working in corporate America, right? And we just do the work. And as women, we're not hunters. So now we have to put on this armor and shield and get a sword and go out and hunt for the business and bring it in. And so when you're having to change hats and go out to do something that's uncomfortable, something that you've never done before, talk to people that maybe don't look like you or maybe that don't look inviting, right? But I have to tell myself 2 things. Number one, if you tell me no, no doesn't mean no. No means not yet. Because when you're in business and you're in sales, you're going to get 95 no's before you get 1 yes. So when we ask to get our territories enlarged, you know how we do. Oh, enlarge my territory. So we're asking to get more no's. So if you don't want to grow, right, then don't ask for it. Because if you ask to grow, that means you're going to get more no's than yes. So what do you do with those no's? No to me means not yet. It don't mean no, I don't need you. Oh, you don't need me yet.
Right.
So I'm just going to, so should we circle back in 60 days, 6 months? Because we're going to talk again because you know you're going to need me, right? So we have to, number one, understand in sales what no means. So if I'm, those things I had to overcome because I'm just like anybody else. What you mean? She said no and, and don't want to use me, knowing they need me.
Right.
Or they'll say no could means I can't afford you. Oh, you can afford me.
Right.
Right, because you can afford chicken.
Right.
You can afford me. So those things that we have to tell ourselves as business owners, as entrepreneurs, these are the things that we have to deal with on a daily basis. And it's not, you just have to put it into perspective.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to tell you that being an entrepreneur or a small business owner is all gravy every day.
Right.
Right? I worked yesterday and it was a federal holiday. Right? I had to. Right? I remember, I think I told you a few weeks ago, I had to work on a Sunday because I forgot to approve payroll. They're not going to keep working if I don't pay them, right? So sometimes, but then there are moments that I have where I can, be me and have some me time, right? Because we have to do work-life balance. So love it. I absolutely. So those things that have made me stumble or have not been sweet grapes, you have to learn from them. you may have to say, hey, what do I need to change to make sure this never happens again?
That's good. I think the word that stands out to me is composure. Maintaining composure. In business, there's a lot of highs and lows, and you learn to just stay composed. No matter if you close that deal, it is exciting, but to just get back focused and see it through. And then when things don't go as well, not to get too low, so not to get too high or too low in the process. And so you definitely have been in the field and in business long enough to know how to manage that and maintain poise. I think if I were just to describe it, if you have friends and associates around you in business, you want to do your best to where they can't really obviously tell whether your business is doing great or not. Mm-hmm. Not through your emotions, not through the way you talk. You want to try to be as composed as possible. Now, maybe inside, it's a challenge and you want to break down. I said this in a workshop. You want to find some confidants that you can talk with and just soundboard and walk through it. Because if you carry yourself in a way where you feel like life is woe is me, you may be doing that in front of someone who is willing to do business with you. And because you don't seem confident in that moment, they may not want to. And so that's the reality. We always want to be composed if we can.
You definitely have to have some people that are around you that they can tell you some hard things mm-hmm. and some good things, but everybody don't need to know that.
Right.
I agree. They don't need to know that, but you do need some people that you can trust that's going to hit you on the chin with, hey, you messed that one up. Mm-hmm. And you need to stand up and be able to own it and accept it. You may not say, well, it was 100% my fault, but you had a part to play, mm-hmm. right? And so if you have that person that can tell you that, right? I'm not saying everybody needs to tell you that, because everybody don't need to be in your, back then, years ago, they used to call it your Fabulous Five. Remember mm-hmm. T-Mobile? Fabulous mm-hmm. Five. Yeah, everybody don't need to be in your Fabulous Five.
Right. Oh, yeah. Mine is a Fabulous 2.5.
You're right.
And the half person is under 5 feet, so that's where the half comes in. So, and then you talked about work-life balance as well. I am a workaholic, you're a workaholic as well. And so one of the things that I'm learning in this phase of my life is just to appreciate doing fun things. You and I, we played, and I demolished you at
you did not.
Mexican train dominoes.
You lose every time.
And no, according to my records, I win every time.
In your mind. Okay.
And so for the audience, just know on record, I win every time, even if I lose. And so, that's a cue for me to get to the next question. How about that? Who has been there for you to provide clarity in your darkest times of your life?
My Fabulous Five. I'm gonna tell you, I don't tell everybody my business. I'm very private anyway. But like you, I can sound. But when I'm talking to you, you're a soundboard, right? Okay, this happened to me. This was horrible. Okay, so so what's the next date? What's the next plan? What's the plan? I know you got one in place, and I'm like, I really didn't have one, but I guess I better think fast on my feet.
Right.
And what that is push, right? You had your pity party. What's the action to get you back on your feet? And I love it. That's why you have to surround yourself. I tell people I surround myself with people that are smarter than me to give you the illusion that I'm smart too. Because my Fabulous Five are not going to let me stay there in the muck and the mire. Mm-hmm. They're going to say, okay, I know that you have another plan. And I'm thinking, I'm all out of plans. Right? What look are you not seeing here? And so this is me. Okay, well, I have to come up with another plan because the plan is not to fail.
Right.
The plan is, okay, that didn't work. What is going to catapult me into the next stratosphere? And that's where I'm at.
That is so good. And I think we need to have time, especially for those of you, maybe you go through life in personal and in business, and you're usually the strong one. I think the challenge with that is a strength and a weakness. If you're always viewed as strong, when do you get to be human? And usually by that time, the weight has become so heavy. So I had to learn that lesson. I think you want to have periodic times in your life where you can just communicate before the load gets too high. And you get good at putting on the face of strength all the time. You want to be able to unload in increments with someone. And Cassandra is definitely that one of those people for me as well. Why do you think people have a hard time maximizing their potential?
Their circle.
Wow.
Their circle. If there's, I am a big proponent. You got to look at the people that are in your fabulous five. If you're the smartest person, fire yourself. Number two, if they're not, now I understand we got our friends and we have our family, and I'm not talking about them. You have to surround yourself with other business owners because we're talking about, hey, I tried this new software. Oh my God, it's making my life so much easier.
Right.
Oh my God, I tried that, but I'm using this one. Oh my, let me look up that one. Now we're challenging ourselves to be better, to come up with an answer to a problem that maybe we had before. Business owners are always looking for a way either to make money, do things better, find another system, automate themselves, duplicate themselves if we could clone ourselves. We're trying to find a better way, right, to even get to work-life balance, right? And so if we're around other business owners, you'll get that energy. This is why I tell live events, live workshops, conferences, those are your friends. Because I'm going to tell you, if I'm going to a conference, I'm probably going to sit in the front. If you're not a front seater, you ain't going with me. Because that way I'm not looking to see who's coming in. I ain't looking to see what kind of shoes she got on, right? What lipstick she wearing. I'm in the front so I can't see the people behind me. I'm only focused on the person on the stage because my objective here is to get me across the finish line. So I would always make sure you're staying current in your industry, perfecting your craft at all times because things change. I'm a little bit older than you, so hey, when AI came into play, I couldn't even spell AI. So that means that I had to figure out what does all of this stuff mean. And so now I have to make sure that even in my industry, I have to make sure that I'm on the cusp, right? I have to make sure that I got systems in place so, we're not in the prehistoric days of index cards or, I don't know.
Right. No, that's a good point. Man. Innovation is a very, it just makes things more efficient.
Well, it has women in business. When you look at we can't, as experts, as consultants, we can never teach a person how to succeed until we first know why they fail. Right. So women-owned businesses fail because of technology, because you have your baby boomers in there, right? 31 to 72. Those are the average age of a woman-owned business. And so when you see us in there, the baby boomers, we have perfected I have to say we because I'm in there. We perfected the green and the red button. After that, we don't know what you're talking about. You speak in systemese to us, right? And so now we have to say, okay, well, I'm bigger than this, right? I remember when Facebook came out. I did what most women did. I told my daughter, you put your mom on Facebook or get a whooping, right? And so after she got me to 300 people, I said, okay, I think I better take over because she was charging me. It wasn't like this was free. So now I look at where I am on social media and people are, oh my God, you're always on social media. I'm like, that ain't even me. But okay, I'm on there all the time, right? So I think that we need to just make sure that we're just staying ahead of our competition, right? So what would make me come eat your hamburger when I've been used to eating McDonald's? You got to make sure that you're enticing me. What's current, right?
Absolutely. On a personal note, I don't like that you brought up hamburgers and fries because I'm vegan.
Whatever.
I'm vegan, so I can't enjoy none of those.
Okay, sweet potato fries. Does that make you happy?
We back good now.
Okay.
Audience, we're back live. We're back in sync. I actually am enjoying the diet. So, speaking of which, I'll make that correlate. Sometimes the decisions you make as a leader in your own business has an impact on the business itself. And so, I bring up being vegan. Obviously, I'm joking, but that has helped me in personal ways. Just have more energy. I thought it was going to be a challenge, but don't be surprised, entrepreneurs and professionals who are starting out or otherwise, that you can't really separate the two. Who you are as a person will impact how you operate business. The challenges you've gone through, the traumas you've been through, we have to deal with those as well. You don't get to separate those. They will show up in some kind of way. And so I make adjustments all the time because I'm learning how to get better. And so is Cassandra.
Even on social media, people go, well, before I buy from you, I'm going to go on your personal page. And people, well, wait a minute. I'm like, oh, she cussing and fussing and all this other stuff on her personal page. I'm not buying.
Right.
So people, but that was my personal page. Was that still you? You're the brand.
Right.
So you got to clean up your personal page because you got folks like me before I go by. Now, we don't do that to everybody. Just small business is what we do it to, right? And so, but in my line of work in government contracting, they're going to go out there and take a look at who you are. But even before, you could be the best qualified for the contract. They're going to go onto your social media pages. And this is why it always stumped me when people go, well, I didn't win the contract because they said that, my company, my profile didn't fit the company. They don't know what that means. I'm like, they probably went on your social media pages, you was on there cussing and fussing, right? Got some inappropriate things. Right? And they'll go, well, that's not fair. This is my business. I'm an expert at this. Yeah, well, but on social media and to the world, you're not.
Absolutely. It's there are people who dislike national restaurant chains because they found out the CEO does something that they don't like. So then they associate his behavior with the whole chain, and they'll make a decision about doing business with that chain just because of that leader's behavior. So you're exactly right. All right, so let me ask you this. Tell me about a time you helped inspire someone on their journey. What was the most challenging part of the process?
Oh my God, I had to figure out a person. Who have I helped lately? Have a client looking to grow her business with a government contract, and it was fearful. Just the word government, people shiver. And so I'm like, you have to get out of this government stuff. What if I just named Toyota? I like Toyota, right? And so let's just say you want to do business with Toyota. They still deal with government contracts. And they're still, if you say government, their name is going to come up because 40% of all of their work has to be given to certified minority women-owned business. So not only did we remove the fear, we ended up, I pushed her to bid in on the contract, even though I knew she wasn't qualified. And I said, sometimes just bidding to lose. She said, well, I'm not a loser. I said, I am. Because sometimes losing is winning. It's a strategy. Well, she bid and she lost, and she was devastated because it's time consuming to bid on these government contracts. It ain't like you just did it in 30 minutes. It takes hours. And if you equate hours to time and then time to money, then you just lost a lot of money. Long story short, she was a little upset with me. I said, but I told you were going to lose. But she's like, I know you said that, I just don't like it. I'm like, well, you'll be all right. I'm going to call you next week. Long story short, they ended up calling her because the person that won the contract failed to perform.
Wow.
So she would just ease on down. You remember the whiz, ease on. And now she got that opportunity. And so now it's, oh my God, I should have listened to you the first time. I said, you did listen to me the first time. You lost it. I told you were going to lose it. Based on what you submitted to me, I knew it wasn't going to work out. But sometimes that alone will allow you to win. I can't tell you how many contracts I lost and then I still won. So, and I'll tell people, I'll walk into a room and I do this. I mean, it's peace. I'm number 2. You're number 1 because you're great. You're fantastic. You're wonderful. You're a queen. You're a king. You're all of that. But if you bid and can't perform, number 2 slides in the home plate every time. So that's me. So sometimes that alone, and I'll tell you, she became my biggest cheerleader. I call her my angel in the outfield because I can be an event. I was at an event Tuesday and she just bringing people. I was standing there trying to sit down because my feet was hurting. And she's bringing all these people to me. I'm trying to eat a bagel with extra cream cheese, right? Got it all in my teeth, all around my mouth. And she's bringing all these people to me. And I was like, oh my gosh. She goes, oh my God, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have won the contract. And I'm whispering to her, I'm like, you really lost. And so it's that does my heart, oops, I hit the mic. That does my heart good. I absolutely love it. And you never know who's your angel in the outfield. When you do a great job for your clients, and I pray for my clients every day. I do, because not only do I ask God to bless them because they need money before they come talk to me, so I need God to bless them financially. Right. But I also ask God to help me to do a good job. Help me to do a great job for them. Allow me to do what I said I was going to do when I said I was going to do it. Right? And so when I was able to do that and convince her to bid, and she lost, and then later she won, now she's my biggest marketing person out there in the world now.
Wow. The first word that stands out to me is gratitude. One, you want to I try to wake up every day and have gratitude. And then number two, it's good that when you're working with a client, such as what you're describing, gratitude was born because, it's nothing like working with someone and they feel entitled. You can never do enough. And so that's one word that stood out, gratitude. The other one is the same thing we've been talking about, choosing your circle, but also having a specialist. If you're operating your business and you're trying to, make things happen, kudos to you. You're not making any excuses. But sometimes we may be using a very effective tool in the wrong context. If you are a hammer, not everything in life is a nail. And so you're going to run up to a tree. Well, if you have a hammer, that takes about 30 days. If you work with a person like Cassandra and you're trying to get contracts and you say, well, you know what, I'm just going to go to YouTube. Okay, great. That's the hammer. You're going to take longer to do that. Or you can find a chainsaw in Cassandra's firm, and a chainsaw takes only about 3 minutes. And so in life, we can choose to implement things ourselves, but at some point it's wise, because we all only have 24 hours in a day. It's wise to choose people that are specialists because they will accelerate your time and just make you more efficient. And so with that being said, since you did pay me to talk good about you, no, I'm kidding. I want you to tell our audience, talk to the camera, and let them know how can they get in touch with you, your company, and any other activities you got coming up.
Genesis Preferred Solutions has been around for 23 years, coming up on 24 years in March. And we help small businesses become certified minority-owned, woman-owned, to help them to secure contracts, whether it's with the government or Fortune 500 companies. Just know the government buys everything. So there's nothing that you're selling that the government is not buying. They buy water. I just saw one this morning. They're looking for 2,500 T-shirts. City of Frisco, just so you know. They're looking for 2,500 T-shirts. So they buy everything. And so what we do is put you in a position so you can bid on those opportunities. I don't care what you see on YouTube. There are 7 steps to obtaining a government contract. Trying to skip a step, you're gonna fall back twice. So it's 7 steps. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for you. I can't water it down for you. 7 steps to win a government contract. And so what we do is we will help you to get your minority-owned or woman-owned business certifications. We do it for you. We're very thorough, just so you know, because we don't do losing. We're only winners in my office. And then we help you to be able to position yourself so you can receive bids. So you can say no. So you can say, I don't have time for that, right? For you, who wants to turn down opportunities? Everybody's like, no, I need every opportunity. No, you're not ready. You ain't ready for that, because you'll do what I did last year, and now I'm over here working on weekends. And so to get in touch with us, genesispreferred.com. You can call our office at 1-800-718-2425. We're on all social media platforms. We're on YouTube. Listen, before you take the advice, and hey, there's some great YouTubers out there. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I'm not against YouTubers, but listen, get with somebody that you know, like, and trust. And I may not be for you, but if you say, hey, I need information, I'm very free with giving information about government contracts. They are right now, I'm in Texas, right? So in Texas, we got to get rid of $4.4 billion worth of contracts before October 1st. So I was at a contract matching event on Tuesday, and they were basically trying to give them away. And so if you are great at what you do, and you're saying that I want a long-term contract where the government just has the ability to pay your invoice, right? Pookie still owe you money right now, and you're mad.
Right.
But the government, they're not running out of money. They make it right here in Fort Worth. So listen, genesispreferred.com, 1-800-718-2425.
All right. Well, to our studio audience, thank you guys for being here. For those that are tuning in now, thank you so much. I hope and I trust and pray that you challenge yourself to continue to be innovative, have gratitude, be mindful of your circle, and most importantly, please, please, please get in touch with Genesis Preferred Solutions so that you can elevate your business. Thank you guys so much. Until next time.